This time of year, college students are stressed about getting a job. And these days, when you add things like AI into the mix, it can look pretty bleak.
Yeah, a recent study found a majority of employers rate this job market for this year's grads as fair to poor. The I-Team's John Barr tells us some parents of Gen Z job seekers, they're walking the career path, John, with their kids in ways that may surprise you.
Yeah, Megan, this story gives new meaning to the term helicopter parent. In January, a company that helps job seekers sharpen their resumes surveyed 18 to 23-year-olds who'd looked for work within the past 2 years. What they found is moms and dads getting all up in their kids' business, even at a time when they need to become more independent. At this University of Maryland job fair, future graduates aren't shy about telling you what they're walking into.
It's pretty difficult. That's why everyone's here, I guess. It's hard to get a job right now.
I feel like right now it's not looking so good. I feel like you do a lot of mass applying, but you don't hear from a lot of people.
Because they have like AI looking through resumes, they discount all my experience.
I had an interview the other week where I thought it was going to be a real person, but it was just an AI chatbot talking to me.
Gen Zers aren't facing this challenging job market alone. As the company ResumeTemplates.com recently found out, when it asked how much parents are involved in the job search.
Based on our results, they are very involved.
That's Juliet Toothaker, Chief Career Strategist for ResumeTemplates.com.
I think they're trying to be helpful, but unfortunately, it's a little too much in some cases.
Of the 1,000 recent Gen Z job seekers ResumeTemplates.com surveyed in January, 75% admitted a parent had submitted a job application for them. More than half said a parent sat in on multiple job interviews, and more than 2/3 of Gen Zers said a parent had repeatedly spoken with a manager. What do you make of these numbers?
The interviewing statistics that we got really blew me away because I felt like it was a high number of parents that were way too involved in the interview process.
Our parents are just interested in ensuring that their students find their way.
Lynn Powell runs the University of Maryland Career Center.
We want to equip parents and families holistically with information on how to support their students, but really encourage students in their own development.
I wouldn't necessarily apply for your child or call for your child and give them the independence to be able to do that themselves, but
Do you see that happening?
sometimes I do, yes, I do.
About now, you might be thinking, this generation is soft and will never make it. But then meet Alicia Colossi.
I know some of my friends' parents are very involved in their job searches. They're sending emails, they're sending like their resumes, they're trying very hard.
This daughter of Ukrainian immigrants says she's doing this on her own.
Being more independent and kind of having your own voice and talking to people is better because when you're working a job, you know, you're the one working there, not your parents.
I think that a lot of people my age are going above and beyond to find jobs on their own and kind of really putting themselves out there.
Then there's grad student Emma McNamara, who admits she's gotten some networking help from her mom, but that's it.
I think we're hardworking. I think that we are dedicated and that we want to be innovative and we're really driven. That's how I would describe our generation.
Oh man, I mean, I've been applying constantly. I do like 100 to 200 applications a day.
And Ethan Fontenot, who's been grinding to get a job for months. Do you think this generation gets a bad rap about how independent it is?
I think sometimes, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people might not be independent, but I mean, we're a hardworking generation. I think we're going to do great things.
Gen Z is smart. I think they're more scrappy than people give them credit for, and we have to allow them to do that. So I really hope the parents that are listening, they just give their kids a little bit of space to do that.
And Scott, I should mention that Gen Z men, according to the survey, more likely than women to have more parental involvement, as if we needed any more proof there's a difference between men and women.
All right, well put. Look, obviously this isn't scientific, this survey, but it's a small window into how the generation really functions. In the cases where parental involvement does exist, and it's big, what's driving it?
Well, there's really three things. There's anxiety on the part of young people looking for jobs today. There's also just, let's face it, inexperience. You know, they have never done this before, right? This is all new to them, so they're leaning on mom and dad. And then there's just frankly concerned about the job market. You know, there are a lot of numbers out about how AI will impact the job market, and kids today, they're anxious and they're not afraid to turn to mom and dad for help, apparently.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like mom and dad are jumping in, obviously,
Absolutely.
to do that. If you know, it's also interesting. I remember the numbers showing how many times somebody might be on a Zoom interview and the parent was in the background, and you talk about that. It's a different world.
It is absolutely a different world, and they're engaging with their kids in ways that some might think is a little over the line.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave you to decide. Now, by the way, if regarding this story, great one, John, you think it's something you might want to share with your friends and family, remember, you can find it on WJLA.com. It's under the iTeam tab.